All right, welcome to a new episode of the Consistent Performance Podcast. And I'm your host, Kilian Markert. And I just decided to hop on right here because I have a super awesome and interesting topic for you. And it's the topic about how much is it worth to you to actually master your daily performance and your consistency? So, wait, you might be thinking, what is that even about? Let me tell you a quick story. Just 1.5 weeks ago, I was having dinner with a really cool guy. I was a big agency in Austria, actually, and he has two small kids, and he works out every morning, wakes up at 4:30, gets some deep work in, and works out in the morning at like 7:38, and then has time for the team and still has time for the kids and the family. And so we talked about this. We talked about, what I'm doing, how I'm helping people. And he totally resonates with this because a lot of this he's doing himself for his business, for his life, basically mastering his daily performance and his consistency with the habits in his life. Not only good habits to show up the best possible way in his business, but actually making sure that he has his health on track. He works out consistently, he has good nutrition, he makes sure he is there for the family, ends work on time, and makes sure he's super productive so that he's actually able to grow the business without burning himself out and still have time outside of business. That's exactly what we do. And he told me, Kilian, actually, you gotta make people realize how important that is for them, and that instead of jumping from strategy to strategy, when you are at a certain point in your business and you do have some form of business coaching, you had some mentoring, or you have a course, and you know what you're doing, you're not a beginner anymore. You know what you're doing, you've had success in your business. And at that point, when you do realize you have this business strategy of things handled, then the big bottleneck is actually your daily performance, your execution, and your judgment, how you make decisions, and how your beliefs and how your attitude is holding you back. That is the biggest needle mover. Like everybody out there can buy some course, have a mentorship, and anything of like that. But how you execute on the information, how you deal with setbacks, and most importantly, if you do all of this consistently, that's really what makes the difference. And so, if you already, for example, have a smaller team or even building a bigger team, then of course, the way you show up every day has a huge impact on not only your own performance, but also the performance of your team, the example you're giving, the leader you are in your team. Okay. And even if you're like, hey, I'm just outsourcing, I'm removing myself from the business, it's the same thing. Because if you're not executing on the tasks that actually get you to hire more people, to outsource, to build systems, and so on, well, you're never going to get there. So you do need good performance to be able to manage all of that. Of course, you can go, monk mode and just isolate yourself totally and just work and just work. And that is possible. Nobody says that it's not possible, but it's not possible long term because you still have to exercise, you still have to eat well, and long term you also want to have relationships. If especially if you want to have a family or building a family, or if you just want to have someone in your life, some friends, visit your own family, or have a relationship with someone. And so if you want to juggle all of these things, which are for a fulfilled life, you want to have those areas in balance, then you need to make sure that your daily habits are on track. And so the question at the beginning of this podcast, how much is mastering a daily performance and consistency worth to you? Well, that question is the following question: how much is it worth for your business, and how much is it worth for your personal life? And you can answer the question by asking yourself, how much will it cost you if you don't fix it? Because the question is simply this: if you're tired all day, you're neglecting your health, you're gaining weight, your health is suffering, you're just working a lot, you're stressing out, you're not enjoying also the successes and the fruits of your business, well, what is it all worth for? And the other question is, how long will it last if you don't take care of your good habits, your health, and the way you show up every day? That's the question, and it will cost you a lot of money if you sacrifice your health, because then the rest doesn't matter at all if you neglect this. And so you should think about this, that when you show up the best possible way and you actually do the work that you know you should be doing, well, that is how you get the results. If you know what you should be doing, look, there's so many podcasts out there of agency owners, of consulting business coaches, of really everything you need right now. It's like we're in a golden area of information. You have it all out there. You just need to listen to some podcasts or buy a course, pirate a course, or you invest a few grand into some coaching or some mastermind. Then you have the information. That's not difficult. And if you're listening to this, you're probably already an entrepreneur who already, can invest into things like that. And you probably have done so. But then the question is, if the business strategy is going well, what is the biggest bottleneck? The biggest bottleneck is always time, because you also have to know that success doesn't come overnight. It comes through consistent execution on the right things. And there's two variables: execution, which means the right execution, but it also means consistently doing it, meaning effectiveness on the right things, and then consistency doing it long term. And that is where a lot of people fail, because first of all, they're having bad habits that prevent them from executing efficiently, which is their daily performance, and their mindset and also the bad habits in themselves prevent them from doing that consistently. They have a setback and then they stop, they stop working out, they stop having a shutdown ritual in the evening, or stop eating well. And suddenly the sleep is not good anymore. And then they're groggy, and then the stress goes up, and then they work longer, and then they're frustrated again, and so forth. You can mask all of this, and it can go well for months and years even. But at some point, you know the difference to someone who has their habits on track and who manages to do so long term. You see the difference in their energy and their focus, and that they're actually getting the high level work done. Great example, the friend of mine that I told you about, he sits down in the morning at 4:30 and he cranks out 1, 2, 3 hours even of deep work where nobody wakes him up, kids are asleep. And even if it's just half an hour or an hour, if you do that Monday to Friday, you know what difference that makes to your life? And nobody tells you need to wake up at 4:30, but it's about you making the time and getting the deep work done without getting distracted, and making sure you're working on the things that matter. So how do you achieve this? Well, you need to start with a few things. You need to have a structured calendar. You need to have proper boundaries. And you need to be able to organize yourself. Meaning, you need to be able to say, okay, this is my plan for the day. This is how I wanted to make it happen. This is what happens when. And here are the habits that will help me implement this. And those habits are usually habits that start with protecting your sleep, protecting your energy throughout the day, so that your circadian rhythm is dialed in, so that in the morning you have focus, you have energy, and that you can actually stick to this calendar. So it's a combination of time management, productivity, organization on the one hand, and on the other hand, of course, habits that protect all of this: energy, focus, exercising, sleep, recharging, and so forth. And all of that combined, of course, for this, you also need some form of mindset, which is, of course, taking time for celebrating your wins, taking time for also being grateful about the things in your life, so that you're training your brain on being in a successful mindset, in a gratitude mindset, in a positive mindset, so that you're actually not going to stop when a setback hits you. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And to answer the question, how much that is worth, that's pretty much everything. That's everything. Without this, your business will fail, not short term, but medium to long term. And that's the danger of this, because you're not seeing it right now. And the other thing, if you do have it, it will work for you in your favor. It will be like a compound interest. And you will notice it quite soon, actually, as you get those high needle moving tasks done. You will be closing more sales. You will be freeing up more time for yourself. And you will be also more happy because you have more energy at the end of the day. You have more time for the things that you're truly passionate about, which is the business on the one hand, but on the other hand, there's more other things, right? Relationships, family, dog, hobbies, kids, sports, reading, traveling, whatever it is for you, right? Which is also super important. So with that being said, I hope that answers the question for you, how much that is worth to you, how much it should be worth, and that you should be taking action on this. If that resonated with you and you want to have help with that, go to kilianmarkert.com, apply for your free discovery call where we can dive together into mapping out a plan, how to improve and master your daily performance and consistency, and then just take it from there and help you have an action plan for this. All right. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this little episode and looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one.